Hey guys, Sakitech from sakitech, and in today's video we are going to be talking about the Samsung Galaxy Book 4 Ultra. Now, this is currently Samsung's most powerful laptop. This is their flagship. It is in fact a monster. It does have the latest Intel Core Ultra processors, and also you can get this with an RTX 4070 gaming GPU built inside it. So let's dive in and see exactly what this is all about. And of course, I'm going to show you guys some gaming performance as well, so you can also see how capable it is when it comes to gaming. And we'll look at all the other details. Now, real quick, when you buy these guys, you are going to get a USB Type-C cable. This is going to be a high-quality USB Type-C cable, and you are going to get a 140-watt charger. This cable is designed to work with this charger perfectly. So that's what you get in the box, and of course you get the laptop. Now this model that you're looking at right here has the Intel Core 9 Ultra processor. It's got 32 gigabytes of RAM, 1 terabytes of solid state drive, and for graphics, it's got a RTX 4070. This is the most powerful configuration you can get. Now the links to buy this is going to be down below, and I want to let you know right now, and this is going to be a limited time sale, it is actually $500 off. Normally it is $3,000, but right now it is $2,500. But I also want to let you know that this also comes in a cheaper model. That one has an Intel Core Ultra 7 processor, RTX 4050, 1 terabytes of solid state drive, and 16 gigabytes of RAM. For the graphics, you get RTX 4050. Now that one is normally $2,400, but that one also is $400 off. Links are going to be down below. So right now it is going to be $2,000. So those are the core specs and prices. Let's dive in and look a little bit deeper. All right, so let's quickly look at the ports. Now right over here we have an HDMI 2.1a port. So that means this is the latest standard, which is great. We have two Thunderbolt 4 USB Type-C ports, and then we have the little LED light here to show you that it's powered on. And then when you look on this side, you'll see that we have a USB 3.2 port, we have a headphone jack, and we also have a micro SD expansion option. That's for the storage. So this is not a card reader. This is if you want to add additional storage to the laptop, you can do so from here with micro SD expansion. Now we also have a built-in fingerprint sensor that is built into the actual power key. So if I just tap on it, not even press it, it's going to log me right in as you just saw. And additionally, we can use the facial recognition using the built-in webcam that's going to be on the top right there. But I do prefer the fingerprint sensor. All right, so let's take a look at the keyboard and the trackpad. Now, first the trackpad. This is a massive trackpad. Now, does it feel solid? Extremely solid. In fact, feels like a MacBook trackpad. And you can see it is very precise. Okay, so I'm using my finger here, and it is in fact very precise. And of course, you can change all the settings pertaining to the trackpad in the settings. So I'm happy that we have a big trackpad. When I press on it, I get a nice click and haptic feedback, so that's great. And with the keyboard, you can see that we have a full-size keyboard. With the MacBooks, you don't get the numeric keypad. What you get is you get this portion, and it's centered together with the trackpad. On this one, I'm a numbers guy. I love my numpad. So you have the numbers right over here for quick access, and you get the regular full-size keyboard. Now, when I press the keys, I get a nice click with them, okay? Nice little feedback. Very satisfactory and high quality. There's no question about that. Now, keyboard feel is a subjective quality. So I would recommend you go to a store and play with the actual keyboard to see how it feels. But to me, it feels premium, high quality, and solid. It's got a nice, consistent click to each key. It doesn't feel like a gaming keyboard, obviously, but it does feel like you get some really solid feedback and quality when you press these keys. Now, one thing I want to mention with the keys is, if you look on the top, we have F1, F2 keys all the way through, okay? Now, if you want to access the settings that pertain to a particular key, you have to press Fn and then press the key. For example, if I want to change the brightness, I have to press, and then I tap on this one, and that allows me to change the brightness. I do have to press the Fn key. And also, because this is a Samsung laptop, one more thing you can do is if you tap on Fn and tap this, you also get your Samsung specific settings pop right up that allow you to customize Samsung specific settings for this laptop. And there's a lot of stuff going on here. As an example, if I do go into the settings, again, FN settings key is going to bring up the settings. And if I go inside, if I go to display, for example, you get all these settings pertaining to the display that allow you to customize the display settings to get the best out of your display. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of Samsung specific settings in this laptop that you do not get on other laptops. All right, so let's talk about the display, one of the main selling points of this laptop. Now, this is a dynamic AMOLED display. It is a 16-inch display. It is a 120 hertz display, and it is HDR capable. It also has a very special anti-reflective property that I'm going to show you in a second. But let's dive in and look at the stats of the display a little bit closer. Now let me show you guys what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the anti-reflective properties on this display. So right over here is just a regular display, and look at this. Look at the reflection of the light in the back, and then look at the reflection on this laptop, and you can see how that one is much more brighter compared to this. So what's going to happen is this is simply going to reduce reflections and glare from background sources, making the screen more visible. So that is actually built into this laptop. You can see that is a powerful light, by the way, that's on the back here. You can see it right here, and here you can see the difference between the two. So that is definitely one of the great features of this display on this laptop. Now moving on to the display stats, if I go to my display statistics right here, first thing you can see is we have this at the maximum brightness. Now the maximum brightness on this laptop is 400 nits, but it can go up to 500 nits when you are displaying HDR content. Now talking about HDR content, by the way, of course, this display is also touch screen, so I can go in here and I can enable things like the HDR, and I can actually watch movies in HDR mode to get a brighter and more vibrant picture. You do have to come here and you have to enable HDR to get HDR capability. Once you enable that, it's going to go black and it's going to turn on again to give you that functionality. Now, if I go back over here, very responsive touchscreen, by the way, and then if I tap over here to display resolution, I am at the maximum resolution of 3K, which is 2880 by 1800. And of course, if I go back here to the refresh rate, you can see we have 120 hertz refresh rate. We have the option right here. And of course, because this is a Samsung laptop, I'm going to show you one more thing. I'm going to go to the settings. So I'm going to tap on FN. I'm going to go to Samsung specific settings, which is going to pop up in a second. And if I do go to display right over here, you can see we have additional options for display capability. We can change the color tone, but one of the best things here is the vision booster option, which is right here. It is turned on. So basically, Vision Booster is something that is going to boost the display in daytime and outdoor conditions. Now, to use it, you have to turn off HDR. So you click that, you turn off HDR. Once it's turned off, you can go back here and you can see I can now enable the Vision Booster option. It is enabled, and if you read the details, it's going to adjust the color tones to enhance visibility when using your computer outdoors or in bright lighting conditions. So that is great, and then we have a couple other options, all right? So just be aware that you do get some additional options here. So it is definitely a very, very nice display. Remember, this is an OLED display, so it's already superior than the LED technology that the MacBooks use. It is going to be more vibrant than those displays. So watching movies, watching videos on this thing, editing stuff like photos or videos is going to be a very nice looking experience. I also want to talk about the speakers on this laptop. So again, I'm going to go to my Samsung specific settings. All right, it's going to pop right up. I'm going to go to sound. And what you can see here is we do have the Dolby Atmos option, which is great. That is going to give you some really surround sound-like experience. Let me give you a quick sample of how the speakers actually sound. All right, so the volume is maxed out. We have the Dolby Atmos enabled. I'm just going to play a song right here. Now, it is going to be hard to capture the quality of that sound over this video, but I'm going to tell you guys, it is very loud and very, very clear. But I will let you know that it's not as good as the speakers you might find on the MacBook Pro. So if the MacBook Pro gets 100 points, this will probably get around 90 points. The MacBook Pro is a little bit more louder and it's a little bit more clear. But regardless, this is one of the best when it comes to Windows laptops. And by the way, because this is a Samsung laptop, I'm logged into it using my Samsung credentials. So I'm now part of the ecosystem. Over here, I have a Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra, and I can use this guy as a second screen. I can extend this display to this one. So look at this. I just go to the second screen application, and the Tab S9 Ultra pops up. I click on it, and it's just going to connect over. The first time, you just want to allow. Always allow, and tap on allow, and look at what happens. Within seconds, that becomes a secondary monitor for this guy. And of course, what I can do is I can duplicate the display or I can extend the display, and I have all these options. Let's do extension. Now it is extended, and I can also arrange the displays so I can have the second one on this side. Click apply, and look at this. Now I have two screens. So if you do have a tablet, you can use it as a secondary display for a Samsung laptop, no problem. And also you can easily transfer files back and forth between all your Galaxy devices, just like AirDrop. As an example, here's a video. I'm going to tap on share, and then I'm going to tap on quick share, and my computer is going to pop right here. When I tap on it, look at this. It's just going to connect immediately, and it's going to accept the file that's going to transfer super quickly. And that is a 4K file. It's a large file, but it just got sent over like it was nothing. So you can use quick share to transfer files between all your products, Samsung products. All right, so let's talk about the gaming performance on this guy. So I'm going to tap on continue. This is Cyberpunk. Because this one has an RTX 4070, I want to show you guys it is fully capable of playing Cyberpunk. Maybe not at the ultra settings, but we can certainly play at 1080p with high settings enabled. Let me show you what I'm talking about. And of course, when you play a game of this caliber, you're also going to hear some fan noises. That's going to be normal. So let me go over here. I'm going to do a straight benchmark. So I'm going to get you the FPS numbers. So I'm going to go to the settings right here, and then I'm going to go over to graphics. Okay. So you can see that I have the quality. I'm going to take the quality to high, not even medium. I'm going to say high. And then I'm going to go over to video. I'm going to say 1080p, which is what we have right here. We are in full screen mode, and I am going to say that's good to go. So here's the benchmark. I'm going to run the benchmark. I'm going to get a FPS at the end as an average. So let's see how that works out. So can you play Cyberpunk on this laptop at these settings? Let's see. Are you sure you want to run it? I'm going to say confirm. Let that play out. All right, so that's the actual benchmark playing through. And look at the FPS on the top. You got 74 FPS, 84, 70, 73. So we'll see what the average is going to be at the end of the video. Now, I will let you know while this is running, if I take this all the way to the maximum resolution, it is still playable, but you are going to dip down to 30s. But as it is now, this game is looking amazing. Look at this. 107, 91, 85. You know, these are some really heavy-duty scenes that we're seeing in the background. So let's wait for it to be over. And again, hearing the fan is going to be normal. Obviously, when you're playing a game, you want to put some headphones on. We should be almost done and get the results in a second. Just want to show you guys the capability here. And then I'm going to try another game after this one. So Cyberpunk is definitely playable at 1080p. The average FPS is 77 for these presets, as you can see. So I can even push it a little bit higher and still get some good quality. And by the way, I just reran the benchmark at a higher resolution. So high quality graphics, 2560 by 1440, full screen. And look at this, I'm still getting an average of 65.55. So even at a higher resolution, this game is perfectly playable. Now let's quickly play another game I want you guys to see. So here's another demanding game. It's a little bit older, but this is Witcher 3. And look at this, guys. I'm getting 60 FPS stable. I'm going to show you guys what the settings are in a second. But this is incredible that I can play this game on this laptop on the go. So if I go into my settings, right here, options, right here, video, graphics, take a look at this. I am at ultra high setting preset. I have anti-aliasing enabled. And if I go to display, I'm at the maximum resolution. So that is crazy. If I go to graphics again, I'm at ultra. All right. And if I go back out here, I can play with no issues, no stutter, no lag. This is incredible. All right. Let me just run it around a little bit. So the FPS it drops to 52 in it for a second there, but mostly it is 69, 71, 67. All right. Again, this is the ultra quality at the highest resolution. So definitely a powerful laptop. All right, so let's talk about video and photo editing. So this can also be a very powerful work computer. So I have an Adobe Premiere Pro 2024 right here, and I do have some 4K files in my timeline. And I also want to let you know, when I'm doing work on a laptop, I always do go to the setting and I make sure that I am in the best performance mode. Best performance is going to get you the smoothest workflow. But here's 4K files, and look at this. As I scrub through the file, it is super smooth. There's no lag here. All right, you can see that. And what I am going to do is I'm going to go to my media bin right over here. Right here, I'm going to grab one and put on top of the other. So now I have two 4K files on top of each other, but you can see that it's not slowing down one bit. All right. Other older laptops that I have, they start to stutter and jitter right over here. This has no issue. So this is going to be a great video editor, 4K files, 8K files, whatever you need, and photo editor. Now this is a approximately 1 minute file. So if I were to go over here and click on export, let's see how long it takes. I'm just going to say adaptive high bitrate and tap on export. We get that little box right here. You can see it's a short file, but it's pretty quick. It's 1 minute. Actually less than that. So you're seeing it's going down very fast. So approximately 1 minute to export a 1 minute 4K file. That is in fact great performance. All right, so let's talk about the charging and the battery. So we do get a 140 watt charger that is going to fully charge this laptop from 0 to 100 in about 2 hours. However, charging from 0 to 55% takes around 30 minutes for a quick top up. Now the battery life is going to be very much based on your use. For instance, if all you do is watch some movies or stream video plus some web browsing at medium brightness, you can get 10 plus hours of battery easily. But if you add some extra tasks like editing movies and or some short gaming sessions, it will drop down to 5 to 6 hours, which is still pretty good. My recommendation is to have it plugged in for gaming and reserve the portable power for browsing, working, editing, which will still get you 8 to 9 hours. And also, not everybody edits video for work. If you're just doing research and word processing, that's going to be 10 plus hours. Remember, you can also choose different power modes from the settings to prioritize battery life or performance based on your needs. All right, so we looked at just about everything. Let's talk about a conclusion. I believe this laptop is a perfect laptop for most people looking for a high-end, well-spec'd laptop for work and for gaming. Now, if you just want a gaming laptop for that one single purpose, then you might have better options elsewhere. This is a more versatile product. It will specifically be better if you own other Samsung products like phones and tablets so you can get the ecosystem benefits. It's got top-end build quality, a gorgeous display that also happens to be touchscreen, OLED, and 120 Hz. It's very clear and very bright. The quad speakers sound amazing, and we have a massive battery. But I would only consider this at a reduced price of $2,000 for the RTX 4050 model with the i7 processor, or $2,500 for the RTX 4070 model with the i9 processor. And that's what they're priced at right now, which is a good deal. But also do remember that under heavy load, you will hear the fans blowing on this laptop. But that's about it. Like I said, if you wish to buy, see the links down below for lowest pricing and best incentives. Any questions? Drop them down below as well.